All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. May the Most High bless you. I pray all is well with all my brothers and sisters around the world right now. Pray that all is well with you and you're having a blessed day. My title now says, the United States is the real terrorists. I want to talk about terrorism for a moment in this video. And I want to give a shout out to all my veterans. You know who you are. I have a lot of partners that's, veterans, some older than me, some not too much older than me that have, you might have been military or, in the army, whatever you done for the country. This video is not to disrespect nobody, but to bring out truth. Bring out some real truth about terrorism. Now, before we get started, we already can say off top that we know Satan is the real one behind all of this. But what I want to do in this video is talk about how the Antichrist, or we can say Satan, the devil, all his posse, uses the United States to do so much mess, to commit so much murder, to continue to do the poor wrong. See, it seems like the biggest talk right now is ISIS, or ISIS, however you want to pronounce it. What the Islams are, Islamic, these terror attacks, these terrorist groups. More people are being killed and kidnapped, tortured. Terrible things happening as we see. But what the U.S. has done to so many people don't even make sense. Terrorists is one thing they love to do is prove a point. And when they do something, they don't mind killing their own selves to get their point across. And they don't mind other people getting killed. And when you just really take a good look at the U.S., all this secret stuff, many that have been killed, how the U.S. do their own people, and how the U.S. have hired, come on somebody, go with me in this video, other people to kill. See, the other day I was talking to some of my veteran partners about this. And one of my partners said, JT, if I knew what I knew now, ain't no way in hell I would have ever fought for this country. And he said, and what I'm going through in my life, the country won't even fight for me. He said, but if I knew what I knew now, back then I was young, just eager to get off in this and get off in that. I wanted to make some of myself. They either told you to go to the army or do this, and then we can go back to see how a lot of people was even drafted. But he said, but if he knew what he knew now, biblically speaking, he would have never got into fighting for this country. He said the country won't even fight for me. I can't even receive benefits on this and that. How dare the U.S. do the veterans like they do the veterans? So they asked me, well, JT, what's your thought on this? Because I told them, I didn't fight for the country. I had a hard enough time fighting in my own neighborhood, so I ain't no way I'm finna go overseas and start fighting somebody else's war when I had a hard time fighting and surviving growing up. But I thought about the U.S., and I thought about terrorism. And when I thought about terrorism, as I shared with them, I thought about what's all involved in that. And anytime you see the acts, you see violent acts, you see threats. And what do you really see? Fear being promoted. Just like when you cut on the internet now, every day you wake up, either on live news or on the internet, you're going to see somebody being murdered, kidnapped, raped, beheaded, or something. Because what the U.S. love to do is promote fear. I talked about this a while back. Fear scares the mess out of people. And see, fear and faith don't mix. That's why when I stand on faith, I have to throw fear out the window. I don't even see fear. And that's the main thing the media want to do is promote fear. Just like when Ebola hit. Just like when AIDS hit. It could be a disease or something. Whatever it is, they're going to promote fear to us. Because they already want you to depend on the government for everything. They already want you to depend on synthetic drugs. They want you to depend on Obamacare. They want you to depend on everything except God. Let me say it like I want, the Most High. because there's too many guys out here. And one thing about terrorism, the main thing you see involved in it is religion. Religion, we could say politics, military, you name it. And when you look at the oil and gas and what's really going on, how the U.S. has, let me tell you something. United States has started so much mess because of what they want to control. Do you think they really care about them babies overseas or whoever getting killed and starving when they don't even take care of the poor over here? I believe it was my boy Tupac that said they got money for wars but can't feed the poor. We got millions and trillions and billions to spend on weapons. But when it comes to feeding the children or taking care of the homeless, helping the needy, when you got little kids dying over here, we quick to go play Captain Saver overseas. And if the Most High don't judge America, he better wake up Sodom and Gomorrah and apologize to them. Because America is a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. You name it, everything is pretty much legalized now. You can go ahead and say amen with me if you want to. And you as a citizen can't even get help, hardly. Y'all, I know it's been a while since I came back to finish up this series. Because that was a while back when I talked about the U.S. Because in part 1 and part 2, we went back to Christianity. And I asked people in the video, really, what is Christianity to you? And the video was called, Is Christianity Really Founded on Holy Scriptures? And is the U.S. really a Christian nation? Actions speak louder than words, Brother Marvell. So this is my part 3 from those videos. The United States is the real terrorist. You can point at the Muslims, Islamic, you can point at everybody you want to, but when you get to a point, take a good look at what America, the U.S. has done. The United States of America has truly done. Where the Bible have been thrown away. And the Constitution is what what they really look at, not the Bible. The Constitution now and has been from day one is more important than the Bible, according to them. But when you go to court, first thing they want you to do is swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. What God? What God? The Bible has been thrown away, and the Constitution is put in place. We live in a time now where sin is allowed. Things that you would call crazy, wicked, and just don't look right is now called normal. Sin is allowed versus our Most High hates sin. They want you to stand and say the pledge allegiance. To look at the flag like the flag is something so holy. But last time I checked, my Savior didn't get on no flag. He got on the cross. So ain't no way in hell I'm going to look at the flag over the cross. Somebody better walk with me in this video. I'm not going to be too easy in this video. And if you just happen to love America, just go ahead and forgive JT for what he's saying. But I don't love it like that. I don't love it like people love it. I hate sin. The flag is more important than the cross. But let's look at truth. And let's say what needs to be said. And I know some of y'all are mad at me because, well, brother, God bless America. Man, America, when have America really blessed God, the Most High? The Most High Yah. The biggest terrorism is the United States. The U.S. done things you can't even imagine. If you've been looking on guard and watching, you have been seeing how, even back then, most of the wars that you see a lot, the U.S. started making war with people they ain't have no business making war with. I'm going to say that again. The U.S., that's why they're the biggest terrorists, has been making war with people they had no business making war with. and trying to take over their countries when they was minding their own business. Yeah, sure, we can look at overseas and see what's going on and then different things. But when you really look at it, look at how many America has robbed, has murdered. And we act like we don't understand why America is being judged by the Most High. The way they do the poor. How do you think the rich stay rich? You got to rob somebody. Rob the poor. And see, I ain't talking about folk who are poor stewards that's walking around here burning up all their money on cigarettes and scratch-offs and going to the casino and getting drunk and getting high all the time. No, I'm talking about the real poor. Those are poor stewards who acting stupid. I'm talking about the real poor, as the Bible said. How the poor is being overlooked. That was another big problem in the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, how they done the poor. Well, look at how America is doing. Yeah, we can sit up and talk about these suicide bombers and everything that's happening overseas, but the real terrorists is the U.S. You know, when you study, the United States has a long record of supporting terrorism and using terrorist tactics. Study. That's the problem with us. We don't want to study. When you look at terrorism, what do you also see? Threats to intimidate. For what? For a political purpose. Please don't get me started on politics. And then you wonder why politics is all in the church now. Been in the church. The U.S. have helped other countries before they even think about helping their own. And we got the nerve to want to sit up and talk about other folk, chopping off folk head and kidnapping and beheading. But look at what the U.S. doing. What make you think that the U.S. has been innocent? We the real terrorism is right here. Crooked government. Don't even let me start talking about the CIA. All this mess. See, a lot of people don't understand about the Central Intelligence Agency. They done hired so many to stage those bombings that you see a lot of time. When we see it, we'll say, "Oh, that's them other countries." Man, that's America done a lot of that. 9/11. That September 11th. That was planned. Most of the stuff you see is planned. Let me ask you a question. Do you think America is really fighting against terrorism, or is America feeding terrorism and playing a part of it? Because see, I'm going to go back to what I really believe. America was not founded on godly principles. If it was, they would be... let me say this right. It wasn't founded on the Most High principles. Because Satan is the God of this world. So America was founded on Satan, the God of this world, but not the Most High. You know why? Because if it was, then America would be following the Most High's way and not the satanic way. You can go from the government to the lawyer, the judicial system, whatever you want to call out, you're going to see where it's just no justice. Racism ain't never left. So America is not fighting against terrorism. They the main character of it. So I know I made a lot of people mad because I just said it once again. America was not founded on the Most High's principles. You better go look at my old video. America was formed on, like Brother P.P. Jones, I hear you say this a lot, a form of godliness. America was founded on a form of godliness. White House is as crooked as it can be. Crooked as my front tooth. I'm telling you. And I mean that. When you start talking about racism and religion, that's why y'all think I don't care nothing for religion. Why do you think most of these wars is happening? It always falls to religion. That's why it's coming where it's going to be a one-world religion, just like it's a one-world system, the government, the real system. And as P.P. Jones said, if you're not in the Most High system, you caught up in the world system, you done missed it. It's over with for you. So America was founded on a form of godliness. Ain't got no power. If my people who are called by my name. I'm talking about what the Most High said. If my people, if they would humble themselves, seek my face, pray, turn from their wicked ways. He said his people. Then they will hear from the heavens. I would forgive them and even heal their land. Says it all. Who really is his people? Now, if the Most High talked about his own people, just like he told Moses, he called them stiff-necked people. If his people, if us, would turn from our wicked ways. See, don't think because you in the church, you all right. Because many devilish people are in the church. So when you look at this terrorism and what America has killed and allowed so much to go on and play a part of, and we want to holler out, God bless America, what the hell for? America ain't never thought about blessing the Most High. They been put the Constitution over the Bible. They rejected the commandments for what man wanted. We have killed more babies with abortion than ever. Y'all still with me? The Bible said that the poor would always be amongst us. The homeless. And when you disrespect the poor, the needy, it's a heavy price to pay. See, that's worse than terrorism. U.S. can't talk about nobody else. Well, JT, man, you know you in America. Yeah, I am. And it make me sick to my stomach what I see. Just like when I'm invited to somebody's church building. And most of the time I'm going to be sick at what I see on the inside. Because too many people are faking and shaking with what they doing. See, you ain't got to pay me nothing to come on here. You ain't got to pay me on camera or off camera to come spread some truth. This is a real talk video. That's why I'm letting it all come out like this. Real talk. I'm not even going to open up the Bible. Because I'm talking to the ones who really understand what I'm saying in this video. Y'all's the ones that's going to say amen, brother. Because we don't want to call it like it really is. Man, the United States is jacked all the way up. And been jacked up since I don't know how long. Before I was born, before you was born, before your mama and them were born. The rich keep robbing the poor. And here go the main thing. Where do you see any repentance? Why do you see any change of heart? See, we're going to keep on trying to protest and march and get mad, start a riot over here, start a riot over there. But when you go home and look in the mirror, if the change ain't going to start with you, sit down somewhere and shut up. Because it's going to always be crooked cops, crooked judges, crooked lawyers, crooked whatever that's going to get away with some stuff. But they not going to get away from the Most High. America has stole, has robbed, has murdered, has messed with so many. Now, I'm not saying that just to say that America is the only one that's doing wrong. No, it's a whole lot doing wrong. But this video is talking about the U.S. being the biggest terrorist. Look at what they did on what you call Thanksgiving Day. You see what I'm saying? Which is really the national mourning day for who? I'm gonna let y'all answer that. What really happened and why did it come down to Thanksgiving Day? For those who truly study, y'all know what I'm talking about. It ain't no thankful day for the ones that did what? I'm gonna let y'all answer that. While we celebrating and eating and getting fat and winding up in the hospital with high blood pressure and diabetes and all this old stuff, you're celebrating what? When you think of what happened on that day alone, that show you already about the U.S. Y'all, people ask me all the time, JT, is America in the Bible? Yes, in the Bible. I don't see the word America in there. Study close. If you don't see the word, you see America. You might not see the word America, but you see America in the Bible if you truly study it. The United States of America has done others so badly that it's a shame to even talk about. Look at what you see right now. Just look at what you see. See, I'm not scared to talk about what the U.S. has done when we're looking at it every day. I'm not scared of what people should be saying versus just playing along with saying it's cool. From the government on down. I was reminded of something that Pastor Terry K. Anderson said at Lily Grove. Big shout out to you, Pastor. Pastor Terry was saying in one of his clips about how racism ain't never left and how the black man been dogged out so much. He said he was talking about the White House. He said how the White House was built by black men. The black men built the White House, but the White House wasn't for the black man. These demonic spirits are now harder than ever before. They are, y'all. And if you can't recognize the demonic spirits in your own family, on your job, maybe even in your children or your wife, your spouse, husband or wife, in the church, if you can't recognize these spirits, you in bad shape. And see all of this that's going on with the weather, these drone planes that's flying around, what's going on inside a lot of churches, what's going on with the military, what's going on with the government. So I can go on and on in this video. Take a good look at the U.S. See, to the pre-trib believers, rapture don't sound too bad right about now, do it? It don't sound too bad right now. I'm reminded of something, Brother Miniman. I got a chance to get on Blog Talk last night. Big shout out to Miniman and Tina and Sister Focus on Truth and Lady D. When you get a chance to get back, we know what time it is, sister. But Miniman was talking about the secret. This secret way of everything. But it don't sound too bad right now, Brother Miniman. But in reality, all that sound good, but in reality, we still here looking at it. We still here dealing with it. We right in the midst of what most people want to escape from, and that's why they escaping out of the faith, because they don't want to accept and go through what we seeing right now. We still here. So whether you believe pre-trib, post-trib, mid or whatever, late trib, be coming back 10 times now, according to a lot of preachers. According to what you believe, we still here. And whether you want to look at it or not, the devil makes war with the saints. And the devil is using the U.S. as the greatest terror. Yeah, it don't sound too bad to want to leave ahead of time. But some of us don't mind staying. And we don't mind going through. And others don't even care at all what happened. Y'all, this is real. The U.S., as Grandma used to say, done stirred up some, I ain't going to say what she used to say, but done stirred it up. And it's so far out left field that it's the only way this thing is going to be straightened up is that it's got to be straightened up by the Most High. So let the weeds and the tares grow together. Because at harvest time, the Father will do the separating. And if you on this side, as the children of the Most High, you don't have nothing to worry about. But if you on this side, as the children of the devil, as Mitty Man preached on Blog Talk last night, there is a home set up called the Lake of Fire. If your name is not rolled in this book of life, this Lamb book of life, I'm just using that as an example. I don't have the key to write nobody's name or none of that. But if your name is not on the Father's list, welcome to the Lake of Fire. So as we always want to holler out, God bless America, y'all better understand that the Most High ain't too thrilled with America. He ain't too thrilled with most churches. And he ain't too thrilled with a lot of his so-called people, because if his people who are called by his name, once again, would humble themselves, seek his face, pray, turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from the heavens. I would heal their land. I would forgive them. But his people is so far out, left field. It's going to be a sad day. And as I used to say in some of my old videos about 8 years ago, I'm going to close this video like this. I know y'all haven't heard me say this in a while. But there's 3 surprises about heaven. Number 1, you'll be shocked at who you see. Number 2, you're going to be shocked at who you don't see. And number 3, you're going to be shocked that you made it in. May the Most High bless you and keep you. This is my prayer. Peace, y'all.